Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda and we are going to be checking in with Herkid. If you guys don't know what that is the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do. And this is round 2. It started in July of 2025 and it runs until June of 2026. I have been trying to complete 2 bingo squares per month. We will see if that will continue in the trend that it has been. But let me get out of the way and let's look at our board. So first I will scoot over here out of the way. 19.25% of squares completed and 48% of books completed is where we ended in our last check-in. So we're going to go through today. We're going to look at all the incomplete squares on the bingo board and we're going to update it and see what our stats look like at the end. So the first thing is my subgenre of choice. I literally just have the Western romance left. And I know I want to read Done and Dusted. I just haven't done it yet. So I know what the book is. I know that I want to read it. I just need to do it. Next is the series Staircase. And I did read the Happy Ever After playlist and Witches Abroad. I'm going to be reading 4 Discworld books to go here. And I just have Life's Too Short. So I read the Happy Ever After playlist in between the 2 months, and I went ahead and entered it in here, and I was like, no, you're not supposed to enter it until you do the update. So I didn't update the rest of them, but I did update that one. And Life's Too Short is already on hold at my library, so when it comes in, I will read it. Also, the next 2 Discworld books are ready to go. I just have to get around to reading those as well. Award season has not changed. It probably won't change until I focus on it because I know now how easy it's going to be, and I'm going to have to actually change all of these to semifinalists because it's easier to find those on Goodreads for the Goodreads Choice Awards than it is for an entrant. So finding an entrant, I'm probably going to go read the SPFBO, which is the self-published fantasy blog off. So self-published fantasy blog off is where they all get together, self-published fantasy authors, and submit their books. And so we can find out who all the entrants are from there. So that's probably what I'm going to do. You gave me some really good ideas in the last one for this as well. For the TBR game, I have finally decided that I'm just going to pick one of these and play the game, and it's probably going to be After Hours by Ladette. This is my favorite game anyway because it's like an actual video game. So I probably am just going to do that one and try to get as many of my 50 before 50 books on it as possible, and that's what I'm going to do. So it is 10 books instead of 5, but I think I'm just going to choose 5 of the 10. That's the way I have played it in the past. So I don't think that's cheating to play it again like that. The last 10 years is now done. I finished The Will of the Many. So I'm going to go right here and it's going to upload. And there we go. I did it. I'm going to check it off. One more section done. The disability challenge, I know the book that I'm going to read. I just have to pick it and read it for this, and it'll be done. For Heritage Months, I officially decided that I am reading nonfiction books for this. And you guys can see down here, y'all gave me so many suggestions last time when I asked about this. And so I'm going to go through here because they're not all nonfiction, but I'm going to go through the list. I am going to do nonfiction books. So if you don't see something down here that you think is a really good nonfiction book for that Heritage Month, I would love to hear about it because that is what I've decided I want to do. So this one is bold because more than one person has suggested it. That's what that is about. The rest of them have been suggested one time so far. And I own this ACE, What Asexuality Reveals About Desire, Society, and the Meaning of Sex. So this is what I will be reading for the LGBTQ Pride. So y'all don't have to suggest one of those. I know there's tons of them, but that one I already own. I bought it probably a couple of years ago. So that is the one I will be reading for that. All right. Then we go translation challenge. I do have House of Spirits on here, which I'm supposed to be reading in November. We will see. Hopefully it will get done in November. If not, it will get done in December, but it is for Spanish. So let me do this. That way I won't pick another book that's Spanish, but I have Swedish, German, Portuguese, and Spanish so far. So I do see that I have a Japanese and a couple of French options down here. I can't use the German or the Spanish because I'm already using them, but I could use the French and Japanese. So if you guys have any other suggestions for another translated book that you like that's not one of these 4 languages, I would love to hear about it. Then we have Around the World, and I just read Raiders of the Lost Heart. It is set in, oh wait, is it set in South America or is it set in Mexico? Aw, it's in Mexico. Okay, so it can't go here in South America because Mexico is in North America. So the next book, though, which I don't remember what it's called, but the next book in that series is definitely set there. So I'm going to put Raiders Book 2, just so I'll know for myself what I want to go in that spot. As you can see, none of the rest of them have gone in here yet. I will be doing the bonus Antarctica book, but I'm waiting until January starts because I just got another list of things and it needs a book set there. I'm about to be reading The Dry by Jane Harper, which is set in Australia. I'll be reading that in December, so that can go there. So I just need Asia and Africa, and I have read a couple of books set in Africa, but I think I used them somewhere else. So make a quote. I have 2 more to add. If it makes you happy goes right here. All right, that's perfect. And then Brigands and Bread Knives goes here. And I was going to use this one as my November new release because I got it on NetGalley and I read it early. And so I was going to use that as my new release, but I got another NetGalley book and that I've already read that came out. Well, it's actually already out at the very beginning of November. So that is my November book. You'll see it when we get there. So I have fell in, way, fall, asleep, slowly, then once. Those are the words that I have left to finish out my quote. And we're just slowly making our way through doing those. In seems like it should be easy. And then, but it hasn't been as easy as I thought it would be. For spooky creatures, I need merfolk, zombie, and alien. And alien, I'm going to be able to get very easily in what I'm about to read this month. The merfolk and the zombies, Undeath on the High Seas is what Amy was reading for her zombie book, and she DNF'd it. And so I was like, oh, do I want to read that or something else? So those are still kind of open. I don't have an idea at all for merfolk or zombie right now. So feel free if you want to. I do have these. When the Tide Held the Moon and Manners and Monsters have already been suggested for those. So I have 1 suggestion. So if y'all have any other suggestions for those 2, I will take those as well. Become the Avatar. I am finished. I just have to update it. For water on the cover, we have problematic summer romance. There's the water all over the background. For fire, we have Death of Darkness. All right, fire right in the middle. And then for air, I put space vampire, and we can debate whether it is air or the lack of air up here in space, but there is definitely a trail of stuff coming behind this spaceship that I'm going to say is moving air as it is moving. So that is what I'm going with for my covers. I am done with Become the Avatar. I'm also done with the animals. Y'all, this was such a good month, and they both came from the same series that I'm obsessed with. So this one had farm animals. There is a chicken named Luke Skycocker, which is the best. In the Wiener Down the Way, there is a weenie dog like Django named Wiener the Pooh, the best. So let me get these added in here and we can check this off as well. Okay, here we go. Checked off. That feels so good. All right, the queer alphabet. I have been given some options. Somebody also just shared a Two-Spirit book somewhere. It was in one of the Discords that I really wanted to read. Also, I do have Upside Down already picked that I want to read for here. And I have some other options, but if y'all have any, I own this on audio already. So I'm probably going to read this one. But if y'all have any other options, suggestions, I would like to hear them. I also did this. This is your favorite Herkid 1 prompt. I don't know that it was my favorite, but I read 3 books with protagonists whose names are people you know. You can also include yourself. Y'all, why are there always people named Amanda until I'm trying to find them in the books I've read, and then there's nobody? But I do have Ethel, my grandmother's name. Megan and Lucy are both cousins. So hot for Slayer is the first one. and then Heart in the Game, and then finally All My Boyfriends Are Monsters. Oh, or My Boyfriends Are All Monsters. Not all my boyfriends. But anyway, there we go. 3 books, all done. Then we go to the BIPOC challenge, and I think there's a few things that I'm going to have to change on here based on some of the things that I have been seeing for people. So I'm still open to taking other options. You see that I have no potentials down here. So if you guys have some, I'm definitely going to go over and check the Discord as well to find some over there. Then October and November is already done. So in October, I read Mate by Allie Hazelwood. And then in November, like I said, I have already finished What Sheep Think About the Weather, which was actually a really fun book, better than I was expecting it to be. So I have December. I don't have anything picked out yet. Oh, yes, I do. Snake Eater I have picked out for December. However, the ebook is already available, but the paperback I have pre-ordered, and it says it's coming out December 1st. So I need to check on the rules for when it's released. Like, is it the edition that I'm reading when it's released, or the first release of the actual book? Because I might not be able to count Snake Eater. But Finley Donovan is coming out in March. I also know the In Death book is coming out in February. And then I just need a January and April, May, June. And we're done with this one. Then I have Challenge Yourself. I have not read any more T. Kingfisher books yet, but I need to get to 20. I'm at 5 right now. So I have 15 books left over here. And then Q's Rex. I have not done any. Blood Over Brighthaven is one that I would like to do for the mini review, but the rest of them, I don't have any that I've even picked out that I want to do. So y'all can give me some suggestions there if you want to. But let's go look at the numbers. Okay, so this is what it looks like now with all of those squares. 10 squares are done. 10 squares. So the squares that are complete equal 27.81%. And the books that are completed is 56.15%. I am so happy with how this looks and how things are going so far right now. I just have a few left in a couple of places, and then there are a few that I have 0, so I really need to focus on those. But that's going to be next year, Amanda's problem. My decision was that for the first 6 months, I was just going to spin the wheel. Whatever it landed on is what I was going to focus on, and that's what I'm doing. So I think for the rest of the year, I'm not going to spin the wheel. I'm just going to see what I read based on what I'm reading for other things, and we will just see what it ends up being at the end of the thing. But for right now, I'm really happy with where it is. I'm not even halfway through like the time frame that we still have, which is why I'm just going to take it easy until January. And then in January, I'll revisit my thought processes and decide then how I want to tackle it for the second half of the year, probably focusing in more on the ones that I may want to make sure that I get finished. So until then, I'm just going to be reading my new releases and then kind of whatever I want to read for other challenges and see how it works out. But the TBR game is going to get done, at least played. I don't know when I'm going to read the books, but I'm going to play it later this month. And then we'll just see how long it takes me to finish those 5 books that I get from it. So that is it. That is my Herkid update for the month of November. Let me know how you're doing down below. What has been the hardest part for you so far, and what has been the easiest part? And I will talk to you down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on my next video. Bye.